The Israelites were ordered to bring a bullock, buck, or ram as a burnt offering in connection to a vow or as a voluntary offering. Only unblemished, undedicated animals could be sacrificed. Dedicated animals were to be protected from injury and slaughtered, which would call for their fat to be burned and blood sprinkled. If a dedicated animal became disqualified, they were to be redeemed by adding 1/5 to its valuation and giving the money to a priest. Any permanent or temporarily injured or blemished kosher animal was never to be sacrificed by anyone, whether Jew or Gentile. These unblemished and undedicated animals were not to or could not be sacrificed unless they were at least 8 days old. They were not allowed to slaughter the cow and its calf on the same day. A sacrifice of thanksgiving was to be completely eaten on the same day it was offered. Through the great prophet, who was Moses, the Father Almighty commanded Israel to never profane the name, but to sanctify the name. Leviticus 22:17 through 33. When they were to enter the gates of the inner courtyard, they were to wear linen vestments. When they left, they were to remove their linen turbans, linen underclothes, and linen robes. They are not to shave their heads, but keep their hair trimmed. A priest was to abstain from wine and marry only a daughter of Israel or a priest's widow. They are not to shave their heads, but keep their hair trimmed. A priest is to abstain from wine and marry only a daughter of Israel or a priest's widow. They were to teach the laymen the difference between holy and common, enabling them to determine what was clean and what was unclean, or ritualistically pure and ritualistically impure. Additionally, they were to judge in controversies and render decisions in adhering with Torah. No priest would be permitted to approach a dead non-priestly man. Only if the death was in his immediate family could he tend to the dead body. After burying the relative, they were to be purified and isolated for a week. After the week ended, he was to make a sin offering. Their inheritance is to be this: I myself am their inheritance. You are not to grant them any possession in Israel. I myself am their possession. They are to eat the grain offerings, sin offerings, and guilt offerings. Everything in Israel devoted to Adonai will be theirs. The first of all the first fruits of everything and every voluntary contribution of everything from all your offerings will be for the priests. You are also to give the priest the first of your dough, so that a blessing will rest on your house. The priests are not to eat anything, bird or animal, that dies naturally or is torn to death. Ezekiel 44:15 through 31. It is in union with Christ that the Gentiles, regardless of which two genders or the status of being a slave or free, along with Israel, have become the King's immersed children through such trusting faithfulness. Such union is the intended meaning of the seed of Abraham regarding Genesis 12:7, 13:15, 17:7, and 24:7. Galatians 3:26 through 29.